And welcome everybody to episode 39 of the effing title. And this week we present to you, and by we I mean me and Fedge, even though this is Jeff. It means to say Fedge, but it's Jeff. Fedge. We present to you the NFL Week 8 review and the NFL 9 preview. Jeff, how you doing?
I am doing wonderful. It feels good to be on, what's this, my 38 or 39 episode? No, I'm just kidding. Just taking over the lead from scratch, everyone. Just, someone's gotta be on here.
Someone's got.
But I'm doing good. Doing good. Besides getting pulled over tonight and getting a ticket, that's another one for another story. But doing great.
Yeah. Fedge likes to zoom.
Nah, dude, it ran through a red light. It was definitely yellow when I went under it, 100% yellow, but that's another story altogether. It was the most expensive tank of gas I've ever gotten. Because yes, I was going to get gas because I needed it for tomorrow to literally just drive 7 miles to pick up my son. Yeah. So, but anyway, new story. Let's just go on football.
All right, well. Let's get to the usual starting point here, the weekly pick matchups from last week. And would you fucking look at this? Fedge in the lead at 9-5 for the first time this season. Congratulations, Fedge.
Yeah, I don't want to call it a comeback, but I mean, it's a premature comeback, kind of like Vermin Supreme calling it that he won the election last night.
Yeah, I mean, good for him, man. Yeah, everybody gets a pony, bro. Everybody gets a fucking pony.
I was banking on it.
And then me and Scratchy coming in second, tied at 7-7. So that brings us to the overall total picks. Somehow I'm still in the fucking lead, 74-45. I have a +2 differential though because of my lock picks. Scratchy is 72-47 with a 0 lock picks, and Fedge is starting to make this comeback, ladies and gents, at 66-53, but he does have to start twisting around this locks here at -2. So now getting to the bum part, COVID, NFL 19.
COVID, here we go. You want to go first? You want me to go first with that?
You go first. Mine's just depressing.
Okay. I would say there's three major teams that I have looked into that are hit this week. The Ravens, Lions, and 49ers. Ravens, I'll let Colin talk about just because he knows a little bit more about it, because obviously it's his team. 49ers had a receiver test positive in the name of... Not Brandon. Now I just drew a blank. What's his name, Colin? Well, anyway, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel.
Oh, it is Brandon Ayuk.
And No, is it Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, it's Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, they were all placed on. Those three were placed on based off of close contact with Kendrick Bourne. There you go. Coming back at you guys. Kendrick Bourne tested positive, and those three, Trent, Brandon, and Devin, all are expected to be ruled out this week as well due to being in close contact. And it just sucks because they do play Thursday this week. I think they probably could have got by with some negative tests if they played Sunday, but they do play Thursday, so they're out. Lions, I'm not even sure if you know about this.
Nope.
Haven't heard this one. Named Matthew Stafford.
No fucking way.
I'm not sure if he is tested positive or he came in contact with, but he is just put on COVID-19 / injury reserve due to that. So that's a big one going to be affecting games this week. They got a good game that's coming up.
I wonder who the wait. Who? I mean, you can keep going. I'm
Oh, no, I'm just saying. Obviously, that affects it. That's we don't want to see who's behind over there. They're already without Kenny Golladay due to injury. I mean, that's even more so the 49ers without Jimmy G.
I haven't known the backup here for fucking a while. Who is it?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking Chase Daniels. They're fine.
Yeah, there you go.
They're fine.
So, did you say they're fine?
They're fine. They're fine, bro. They've both been in the league for 12 years, man. Like they're fine. Like,
oh, that makes them fine. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But anyway, yeah. So that's all I got there. The Ravens had multiple people.
So,
and Colin will go over that list with you.
Yeah. So Marlon Humphrey was the first big one that came out, and that was kind of the big upsetting one. I think I said it on Monday earlier this week that he announced it, or it was Tuesday. It says here Tuesday. So immediately, as soon as I heard that, I was like, "Fuck! All right, well, let's see what happens." Losing him is like it's bad. That's our best defensive player that we have. In my opinion, anyway, I think that's the best defensive player, and I would argue the best player on our team, even. Then, after that, they did an extensive search to see who else was on the list, and apparently it is Matthew Judon, Tyus Bowser, Patrick Queen, LJ Fort, and Malik Harrison, all of which are part of our linebacking core. So that hurts, because that's 3 starters and 2, pass rushers, basically, or third down guys. And then we're also losing defensive back Terrell Bonds, who just played last week, had a lot of penalties on him, and got burned quite a bit. He just got moved up from practice squad last week. And Deshaun Elliott, who is our Joker safety, they were also added to the list. Hopefully, there will be some of those guys will be back playing this weekend, but I haven't seen anything too much from that. And then I'm just looking here. In response to Humphrey and the Packers drafting that, stressing the importance of wearing masks and providing facial coverings when not actively participating in the game. So, when you're punching people in the face on the line of scrimmage, you don't have to wear a mask. But when I'm sitting next to my homie on the bench, I got to wear a mask. Makes sense. So that is the Ravens situation. So now looking ahead to this week, interesting week here.
Did you just mention? I missed it there. Did you mention about the new COVID restrictions?
I did not, because I knew there was something, but I didn't know what they were. So I was gonna just throw it right back to you.
Yeah, I'm just quick note.
Yeah, here I'll just throw
new
it
COVID
over.
restrictions. You just need to wear mask coverings before, after games. Sidelines, they're just putting up new, I guess, like I said, restrictions on everyone, because to keep it from after game, and especially with people meeting in the middle. And I mean, it really just defeats the whole purpose of trying to keep everyone safe. You're just going to go meet in the middle without masks and hug it out and whatever else.
Yeah.
So, but yes, they put that into effect now, and we'll see if some people, obviously, people are going to get fined. I mean, not everyone's going to listen to the rules, but
exactly,
it's the story of your life,
So going into this week, so we're going to talk about this right now, right before we actually get into the picks. Scratchy, our good friend Scratchy, is not here tonight. That's why there's only me and Fedge. But the funnier part of this is Scratchy didn't give us his fucking team picks. So, with that being said, chat and comments, I'm going to let you guys decide whether or not we get to keep all of his picks. Some of his picks, he doesn't get a lock. Whatever you guys want. We're going to let you guys decide at the end of the podcast.
The bottom line is that this could instantly put me into second place right here this week, guys. I mean, let's just think about that, chat. Think about that, okay? Before you cast your vote.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
I want the maximum penalty put down.
The maximum penalty. All right, starting off, we got Thursday night football. Thursday night looks like it could be
real quick. I
interesting.
want to go back here real quick. I just want to talk real quick about Week 8, what we got here. Just some
Week 8 review.
Sorry,
yeah.
Here. Just real quick.
My bad.
Yeah, which I thought was before COVID, but we're good. We're changing up this week. Scratchy's just throwing us off. I'm just gonna quick couple things. Steelers, really good. Periodically, they're at times they're the best team in the NFL. But for whatever reason, I just don't see them putting it together for 4 quarters. Hence the reason the Ravens were even in that game in the first place, especially at the end. I mean, Lamar made a valiant comeback, and if he would have used his legs a little more on that final throw, I think they actually could have pulled that off. But he was looking at his first read and kept it there. But
it wasn't. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, that wasn't a bad throw either. I mean, that was just. It was like there was. I saw someone say that there should have been a flag on it. I don't know about that. But I mean, it wasn't a terrible. I mean, it wasn't a terrible throw. It wasn't a terrible decision. I just, yeah, no, that wouldn't be the play call that I would have if it's the final play of the game. You know, but.
Yeah. Tua looked really lackluster in his first start. Dolphins really protected him well. They did come away with a win. Special teams, defense, everything else looking good on that team. Tua's going to get it together, but that's fine.
Well, no, so that's the other thing. Think about that as well. Tua, like we're talking about Tua, and I was saying, like he had a lackluster first game, against the fucking Rams defense and the. Like it's It's one of those.
I agree with that. Yes, I mean they just protected him. Kind of let him read one side of the field. Let him, hand the ball off a lot. I mean I think they had like 6 3-and-outs, dude. Like they did not put up any yards on offense. It was kind of dismal on the offensive end. I would keep it there. But Packers. I am so surprised the Packers did not trade for a receiver. Maybe Alan Lazard, possibly coming back this week. Maybe they're saying he's 100%, whatever. It's going to be a good compliment to Devontae. But last week against the Vikings proved they need a number 2 receiver. They also still without Aaron Jones, but still, that team is too good to be losing games to a 2-5 Vikings. 2-5 Vikings. We're going to join these next 2. Oh, what? Sorry.
Oh, God.
No, you go if you were to talk about that.
No, I was going to bring up a different team. I
was just going to say I'm joining these 2 next together. Colts look really good. Defense look really stout, especially with Darius Leonard back. And then we're going to flip to the other side. The Browns look horrible. Horrible. I know the wins were effective, but they looked horrible. And it goes back to, what Colin's saying is they just don't look good against decent teams. It's just that's what they beat up on the teams they should, which is good. But you got to look good. You got to play with the good teams if you plan on going to the playoffs and trying to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing with them is like they're fine with punching down. But as soon as they got to start punching up and swinging up, they can't do it. Like, we haven't seen it yet,
Yep. And then, really, the last thing I wanted to talk about was, actually 2. I'm going to give 2 nods here. Joe Burrow's still looking good. Proud of the kid. Still don't like him. Going to be a bust. I'm sticking with that statement forever. Lastly here, I don't know why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, I feel like they took a night off. They did come up big plays when they needed it, but there's no reason the Giants should even been in the game with the Buccaneers. They're not even. There's like 6, 7, 8 levels in between those 2 teams. It's
so fucking weird, bro. The every team is like saying like, oh, the Giants, we got to watch out for the defense. The Giants, we got to watch out for this or that, and it's one of those things where it's like why? But then we see these close games, and it's like, what the fuck is like? Are we just not seeing this? Like, is there just something we're physically not seeing? The only thing I was going to bring up as well is, like Scratchy has said with the NFC East, he just doesn't want to pick it. I mean, it's oh my God, like that Dallas Eagles game. Like, I'm like, I took the night off for everyone that didn't notice. I took the night off from my play-by-play because of the time change and because I wasn't feeling like great. But like, Jesus, man, that was. But
last thing I got is just comment real quick on Charles. Charles, I'm just going to say it straight up. I'm not man enough to admit that I'm wrong. So until I am man enough to admit that I'm wrong, Burrows is going to be a bust. Okay.
I don't know. My thing is it's this like there's 2 sides.
Jalen Hurts. Thank you, Wentz. Get him out of there. Yeah.
Sorry. There's 2. Like for me, there's always 2 things with rookie QBs. Is either 1, they're not ready for the main stage yet, or 2, they're ready, but as soon as they get figured out, then that's where we're going to see who they really are. And I think Burrows is in the second stage. He's ready for the limelight. He's ready to be here. I mean, we're seeing it. LSU's losing to fucking everyone this year. So we're seeing it. There's something there with Burrows. But my question is, can he continue to do it though? We've seen it with Baker. Baker hasn't been able to do it. Lamar is struggling at points. There's certain guys, and it's like, my question is this going to be one of those guys? So, I mean, it will be interesting to see what they do later down the line. But
yeah, I mean, obviously, it's all about development. That's what it comes down to. But all right, now you can go ahead, get into this Thursday night.
Thursday night, we got the Packers and the Niners. I'm going Pack. Go Pack, go.
100% Pack, and I'm going to tell you why. Not only are these wonderful COVIDs hitting between their, like I said, Ayuk, Debo, who probably wasn't going to play anyway. Now Kendrick Bourne's out. They were already without Jimmy Garoppolo. They were already without George Kittle. Defenses suspects with injuries as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see the Pack losing 2 in a row here. No, they're just. The thing is, it gets me is that San Francisco has had the Packers' number. Mm-hmm. I mean, last year they just got destroyed twice. I think it was like 37-8 in the regular season, and they got ran all over in the playoffs last year. But obviously that was with Jimmy G running the show, a lot of healthy backs. I mean, but also the Packers, if Aaron Jones can't go, I mean, they're down to because same thing. I don't even think I mentioned that actually.
AJ
Packers
Dillon.
aren't. Yeah, A.J. Dillon and Jamal Williams, both are out with COVID as well. So if Aaron Williams can't go, they're down. Or Aaron Jones can't go, they're going to be down to Tyler Irving and the other one's Williams too, D. Williams. Now I'm blanking on his first name. But yeah, that's what they're down to. That'll come back to me in a second here. But yeah, so that's going to be a rough one as well.
My thing with it is it's that thing of the Niners. It's like, okay, they don't have Jimmy G. Okay, fair enough. We've even said it. Nick Mullins looks good. Nick Mullins knows the offense. Mm-hmm. He knows what he's doing. It's like, okay, they're banged up. We know that, so we know they're a little bit like this. But now they're without Jimmy G and without Kittle and without some of these wide receivers.
Yep.
Like I don't know at that point. Then man, like that's
tough.
That's pushing it now, So like that's. I mean, I'm always gonna see, if it's a team that's banged up like that versus the Pack. Pack is a very fucking veteran team. Rodgers always finds a way to fucking do something.
I mean, especially if they have Allen Lazard back, they're gonna be tossing it all over. And it's Dexter Williams, by the way, is the other gentleman. So.
Oh yeah. CJ isn't starting. I mean, I don't think so.
Who's that? Beathard? No.
Yeah,
I think it's Mullins they're going with.
I mean, I personally like CJ Beathard, but I think it's gonna be Nick Mullins. I think Beathard does have a better grasp of the offense, but all right. So now moving on to the first of the Monday night games, we have Denver at Atlanta, and as everyone knows, ABA is Denver.
I don't know, man. We're going to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
You got to start the winning streak somewhere, Colin.
You
got to start the winning streak somewhere.
I made the statement earlier in the year, ABA, anybody but Atlanta, and I'm going to fucking stick to that for the rest of this year. Even if Atlanta plays the Jets, I'm going to fucking pick the Jets. Wouldn't be the first time I picked them this year, so... I just that entire team, just like we were talking about it, like they didn't trade Takk McKinley. Their offense looks explosive at times. Their defense is starting to look better. But Drew Lock with Denver just has a whole different swag to it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Drew Lock,
he brings so much energy, and he has like.
But it comes down to a high-scoring game, and I think that Falcons are going to be able to put up more points. I mean, the Broncos have a very depleted secondary. Even if they didn't have one, who's going to cover Julio Jones? Calvin Ridley's back, should be back, hopefully. As long as he's back, I mean, yeah, solid 1-2 punch. Gurley's leading the NFL in touchdowns. I mean, it's a good offense. You can't be against that. It's just if the defense can hold some people to scoring, and actually they stopped them from scoring last. They ended up getting a pick at the end of the Panthers game last week. Maybe it's a little turnaround, Maybe.
I mean, I will also argue this though, that the skills positions for Denver are tremendously better than the skills positions for Carolina.
Probably true. Yeah, probably true.
I would argue that, but
I don't know. I mean, it's
all right.
Who they got, Denver? I mean, because the thing is, they got Judy. They got Tim Patrick. The only one I'm really going to go is tight end position they have. I mean, I'm going to take DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and Robbie Anderson over the receivers he has in Denver. I wouldn't take Teddy Bridgewater over him. But I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
It's close.
Seattle at Buffalo. This was a tough one for me, but I'm going with Seattle.
Of course you are.
Going with Seattle.
Oh my goodness. Are you waiting for my pick?
I mean, I know you're picking Bills, but I mean...
Come on. Here we go with Buffalo. Nobody circles wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Come on.
I mean, let Russ cook, bro. He's on record to break the fucking, like, all passing records. I think I saw something like that this year.
Passing record for what?
I think it's touchdowns, maybe.
Yeah, sure, cool.
Yeah, that's how you win games.
It's gonna be honestly.
This is gonna be one of the best games of the week, in my opinion.
It's gonna be a good game. Honestly, it's gonna come down. I think I'm not gonna say he's gonna shut him down. Tre'Davious White is going to need to hold his own against DK. It's going to come down to Levi Wallace on the other side against Tyler Lockett. That's
going to be the tough part right there.
Also, it's going to depend on if they end up having... They're saying they're going to have him play, but is he really going to play? Chris Carson, is he going to be there? Is he not? Carlos Hyde, he's going to be there? He's not. DJ Dallas looked good last week, but he's not those type of guys. If they don't have them, I mean, it's a lot harder to win that game. But no, I mean the Bills, the Seattle's giving up one of the highest yards we've ever seen.
I think that I think them going out and getting who they got. They got Dunlap, right? In that trade. I think that's huge. But my thing still, I just think this is going to be a high-scoring game. It's just that I'm bringing it down to who in the clutch situation. Am I taking Russ or am I taking Josh? And there's not a whole lot of people that I'm taking over Russ. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing.
What clutch situation are you looking at?
Just in any sort of clutch situation. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I don't know what you mean. You're looking for fourth quarter comebacks? What are you doing?
Hate
you. What are you looking at? I'm just curious. I'm not asking a question. What are we looking at?
Yeah, let's say like either fourth quarter comeback or like scores tied. You have ball go down the field and score.
Okay.
Yeah. Like right this second, right?
Cheers.
Like I'm putting Russ above everyone in the league, basically.
Fair enough.
Baltimore at Indianapolis. I mean, I'm picking Baltimore. I mean, this is gonna be a fucking.
How can you go Baltimore in this game, dude?
It's gonna be fucking tough. Huh?
Because they're playing Indianapolis. That's how you pick Baltimore.
You're picking Baltimore too. All right, fair enough. And this is it's one of those things. Just after this tough last week in Pittsburgh, and then we have Hollywood Brown fucking running his mouth. We have a COVID-ridden defense where we have almost no linebackers now. And our best player on our team, Marlon Humphrey, out. This is gonna be so fucking tough. My thing is just we're gonna make Phillip Rivers fuck up, and we're gonna make him fuck up a lot, in my opinion.
And that's the thing is, it's gonna depend on their running game. I mean, are they even gonna be able to run the ball? I mean, yeah, you are depleted a little bit as far as the Ravens on defense, but are they gonna be able to throw the ball? They're going to be able to run the ball. And that's the thing. I don't think they're going to be able to put enough points to stick up with. And it is going to come down to a defensive game, I think, too, because, like I said, I mean, last week before Rob didn't believe me, the Colts have one of the stoutest run defenses in the league. And they showed it last week. I think they held them easily to 26, 29 yards.
Well, that's the wildest thing as well. Because, keep going with that real quick while I find the...
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, Darius Leonard is a huge part of that defense. When he plays, that defense is top notch. When he's not, I mean, he's a game changer, and that's the bottom line. It's the defense is shaped well. They've done a good job over there. What's his name? Ballard. Oh, is the GM. Done a great job. Frank Wright. Just like I said, it's going to come down to Phillip Rivers. If he can hold on the ball, he cannot turn it over. You can win a game that way. That's about the only chance they have. But if he turns it over, they really don't have a chance.
And this is the thing that I think that is going to be one of those ones as well, where like you look at Baltimore, right? We've always been known for we pound the ball, we get after people, and Pittsburgh has one of the best run defenses in the league. J.K. Dobbins 113 yards, Gus Edwards 87 yards, Lamar Jackson 65 yards, and that's on. Let's see here, that's 32. 47 carries. We almost put up 300
You say
yards.
47 carries.
47 carries between the three of them.
That's insane.
Yeah, and that's against the Steelers. And most of that was in the first fucking quarter and like the first half because we stopped running the ball a little bit in the second half for some reason. So like that's my other thing is that like this is another stout run, quote unquote stout run defense. Well, let's fucking see how real stout run they are because I think after this weekend, like I think the people are gonna be kind of in Greg Roman's ear. Like, will you just fucking run the ball?
And they should.
Like
they should. See, I think Pittsburgh is as a defense all around is good, solid. They obviously have it on the back end, especially with Minka running around doing his thing. But as far as statistical wise, they're probably middle of the pack in the run defense now. I mean, they started out great. I don't know if they might be a little higher than that. I think they were still under 100 yards because there was at one point where they were like 50-something yards a game, and they've been getting gashed lately.
Well, I was going to say, think about that as well. Like, if they were like 50 yards a game, and then suddenly there's a 300-yard game in there, like that shit's fucking.
Well, that too, but I mean, it all started with when they played Philly. They were averaging, I think it was 55, 57 yards a game, and then one play, Miles Sanders broke off like a 77-yard touchdown run. So it does. I just looked at it. They're actually 5th overall. So yeah, I mean it's not, but it's still good.
The other,
and they got the Colts averaging under 80 yards a game. So I mean it'll be interesting. But I mean obviously when you run the ball 47 times,
there's another thing as well to think about that just to bring up as a Ravens fan and everything. One of the things that everyone should look out for is we're not going to be as dominant for the next little bit. Not because of us losing out a few players on defense, because we just lost Ronnie Stanley for the season. We just lost what the hell is his name? Tyree Phillips, I want to say, our guard for the season.
Yep.
We're already trying to find a person to replace Yonda, and we don't have that guy. So Orlando Brown is going to switch from right tackle to left tackle for the rest of the season. DJ Fluker coming back at right tackle, and hopefully, I hope this weekend when I see this game play, that they announce that Ben Powers is starting a guard, because he's a liability in the pass protection, but I'll tell you what, Jeff, this dude is fucking mean run blocking. Like, there was a quote of his, it's like, there's nothing better than just, like, dominating a player, and, like, seeing the, like, fear in their eyes, like, something like that.
That's crazy.
As a guard, that's what you want, like.
Oh, exactly. I agree, yeah. I love it, though. Love it.
So, moving on, though. Houston at Jacksonville.
Personally, I don't think we even have to talk about this game. I mean, Jaguars should not be in this. Thing that benefits both of them is they're coming off buys. I'm going Texans.
Texans there. I mean, if they didn't make, and this is one of the things I wanted to get to, trade deadline happened. They didn't make any trades. I thought the Texans were going to fucking almost like clean house. I thought they were getting rid of Watt, one of their receivers, like
just because they need to get some picks back, dude.
Exactly, they need to do something.
Them so much.
So that was my thing, is like I thought they were fucking like getting rid of almost anyone. They didn't get rid of anyone, which to me shows that like they're ready to fucking rock and roll. And Jacksonville was making a changing of the guard, if I remember correctly, a quarterback, and they're putting in a fucking rookie against the Texans defense after a bye week. No, get out of here.
That's my thing. I mean, it's nice because obviously the rookie should have a little bit of an edge because they haven't really seen a whole lot of game film and how they're going to run things, but. It's a big cop out here. They're saying Gardner Minshew's hurt his thumb, blah blah, but he's been playing through it since week 2. This is almost as bad as the Joe Flacco situation in Denver. The only difference is you had Locke, who was a top pick, coming in. Now you're starting.
This is one of those things where
I think he wants to get fired. Honestly.
This is one of those things where the Jags went all in on Minshew, and then Minshew is now showing that he's a good quarterback. That's it, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's he's doing what he should have done. That's about it.
Yeah.
But there's not much. I just the talent level to QB position in this game is going to be huge. I mean, it's Deshaun Watson. They're not getting rid of anyone. They still have Will Fuller. They still have Stills. They still have Cobb. I mean. David Johnson still. The Jaguars are just young. They're not ready. It's going to come down to if James Robinson can run the ball because Lutton is going to need a running game.
Mm-hmm.
Running game big time, and that's big if. Big if. I just don't see him pulling it out. I'm sorry.
So now another one that we won't have to talk long about. Carolina at Kansas City. Chiefs.
I mean, we don't have to talk long about, man.
Chiefs.
You don't think my boy's coming showing up here?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's rough. It's nice because the Panthers are going to be getting back Christian McCaffrey this week, so I like that. I mean, I'm going to see him having 7-8 catches this game because they're going to be playing from behind. But yeah, I mean, the Chiefs are going to win the game. I agree with you. I agree.
I mean, the fact that last week they put up more points than the other team, they put up more passing touchdowns than the other team has all season.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Chiefs are going to win this. Moving on to Detroit at Minnesota. So before I knew about the Stafford thing,
you had Detroit, didn't you?
No, I picked the Vikings.
And now wait. So you're thinking about? Thinking about changing
nope,
it? Nope, no?
I'm staying Vikings.
I was gonna say you're gonna change it because of Chase Daniels.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking run it up, Chase.
No, I'm going Vikings as well.
Yeah.
I don't.
I didn't see a whole lot of that game. I saw a little bit of it. That running attack looks fucking like the old Vikings running attack. Say, dude,
like, they came back and they took it at Green Bay, dude. Delvin Cook almost looks revitalized after his injury. I guess he's technically
right.
injured.
I mean,
doesn't look like he's coming off an injury. Like,
no.
Just got. Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like I would think back to like when the Vikings were dangerous, and it was like they ran the fucking ball and then they play action off of it. They basically did what the Titans. That's basically what they do. They used to do what the Titans do.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Lions already got ran over last week. Jordan Wilkins, 20 carries, I think like 90 yards and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor was injured. I mean, then even like their running backs out of the backfield. Hines had, I think he ended up having 3 catches, but 2 of them were for touchdowns. I mean, it's just they're gonna do damage against that team. Oh my goodness!
Detroit.
Hand the ball off.
Detroit.
Do little screens. Like,
Detroit is like the Browns of the NFC. They're gonna punch down on people, and every now and then though they're gonna swing and take one of the big guys out. But then what they're also going to do is they're going to swing. They're going to swing, take one of the big guys out, and then as they're continuing to swing, they're going to completely whiff on one of the smaller guys, though.
The problem is, that's
Detroit.
Stafford's MO.
I was going to say that's Detroit, right?
Like in general,
Detroit's going to go out there and beat the Packers one week and then lose to the Jets the next. Like that's what Detroit does.
Not only is Chase Daniels not going to have Matt Stafford there because he's injured, but he's not going to have Kenny Golladay. Like that's another issue. Like Kenny Galladay's out with a hip injury. Like so, who are you going to have? I mean, you got to
who is your backup quarterback going to throw the ball to?
Yeah, like come on. I feel bad for them too. The Lions, I like the Lions, dude. But...
Yeah, I mean it's interesting one here. Chicago at Tennessee. And by interesting,
I was just about to say that. This one's kind of a tough one. Both coming off losses. I really thought Tennessee was going to have a get-right game last week, and Joe Burrow comes in and said, "Not today."
Not today, Junior.
Yeah.
This isn't even a tough one for me. I'm picking the Titans.
Really?
Yep.
Because you really hate Nick.
Mm-hmm. Nick Foles is a Sam Bradford, Matt Schaub, that sort of quarterback. He isn't a franchise guy. He's never going to be a franchise guy. He's going to be a guy that's going to come in and he's going to do well for either a season or half a season, and then he's going to show you who he actually is. The problem is that when he did come in to show everyone, hey, this is what I can do, it was at the very end of a Super Bowl run. He's basically another version of Cap, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Because look at what Cap did. Cap came in when Alex Smith got the team to the playoffs. Cap went in the playoffs, went all the way to the Super Bowl, lost to the Ravens, and then he didn't do fucking anything for the next few years.
That's an interesting comparison. Huh.
Like that's why I never would have taken out Mitchell.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm gonna go Bears in this one.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going the Bears is because I think they're going to be able to bottle up Derrick Henry. They got ran over last week by Kamara and Taysom Hill even. Latavius Murray just adding a little bit, and I mean the big thing is Drew Brees is loving his running backs receiving.
Oh,
but I just think they're going to be able to, with that defensive front, they're going to be able to they don't like getting run over. I mean that's not the Bears. It's not the Bears way. You know they're gonna get back a little bit. They're gonna take a little playbook out of the Bengals, and you know that's the thing. I mean if you can make it so that Ryan Taylor has to throw the ball, I mean it's gonna make it tough. The Bills did it. I mean they just were without multiple defensive backs.
Multiple.
But, I don't know. Even last week, I think the Titans ran for over 200 yards. They still lost.
Yeah, it's just
you know.
Okay, so New York Giants at the Washington Football Team.
Oh my goodness gracious! What a game! What a game! What a game! I mean, what a mess. The only thing that can make this game worse is if it was a primetime game. Oh, you mean like last week that we had an NFC game? Oh yeah, that's exactly what I meant actually. Washington.
Oh, okay. And you ready for this, Jeff? Do you hear that? Do you hear it?
You going for a tie?
Do you hear it? No, do you hear it?
This is not lock of the week.
This is my lock of the week.
Who's locking it? Who's locking it down?
Washington.
Yeah.
Washington. So this is my thing. I was gonna go Steelers. Steelers as my lock.
For the lock? Oh, okay.
I was gonna do it, but then I looked back, right? And I looked back, and you know who my first lock was?
Who was your
Philly.
first lock? Philly? Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know who my second lock was?
Wasn't it Philly again?
Fucking Philly. Philly's on a bye this week. Going Washington.
Go with Philly.
I think the Washington is kind of weirdly on the upswing after they made this quarterback change, which is weird to say, but I mean they don't look bad, and like that D line. Let's just be honest here. That D line is gonna fucking eat alive this Giants O line. Like,
yeah, I mean it's
it's gonna come down to the Giants' defense doesn't look terrible. Giants' D doesn't look bad, so it's gonna come down to can Washington do anything against it? Because I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be able to do anything against their defense.
Yeah, I mean, it also comes down to play calling here too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what I'm talking about, or no? You forget about it that easily.
I'll probably forget about it that easily. So,
what was it? Week 4? I want to say. No, I mean, it was sooner. I think it was week 6. Let's go with week 6. Riverboat Ron decided to go for 2 at the end of that game and lost his team the game. Yep. No, I think they're in a better shape now, especially coming off the bye. So you got the nice Washington football team. Get a little healthy around there. D-line's going to get after Daniel this game. I mean, Giants coming off a short week, tough loss on Monday night to the Bucks. I like it. Chase Young probably get 2-3 sacks. You know.
A couple 2-3.
Run it up, dude.
Couple 2-3. Moving on to Raiders at Jesus.
The Chargers.
Yeah, the Raiders and the Chargers.
Gotcha.
Jesus, I'm looking at it and it's like it just says Vegas on mine, so I'm like freaking out. It's like what?
Actually, a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I like
it. Is.
I like this game.
Fuck it, I'm changing what I actually have written here. Fuck it, I'm changing it. I had Raiders, I'm changing it. I'm going Chargers. Going Chargers.
I'm going Raiders.
Oh, okay. So
the Chargers are just coming off a tough week last week, and I want to see if they can get it back up there. I mean, they played great for the first, what was it, like probably 50 minutes of that game, and they ended up letting Drew Lock come back down. I mean, you gave up 31 points. That defense gave up 31 points to Drew Lock. I mean, John Gruden's coming off a nice solid win over a decent Cleveland team in the weird weather. But I think Josh Jacobs is gonna run wild.
So that was my original thing, is that Josh Jacobs is gonna run wild. Chargers just traded Desmond King away. Which that was kind of a weird one to me. Why would you trade one of your best defensive players?
I mean, they're not really going that far. They want something in return. He's done after this year. It's kind of I'll accept it.
You know what it probably was. Now that you just said that he's done after this year, he probably didn't. They tried to make a trade. Trade didn't happen, and then they just traded him.
I mean, they could have just. They probably.
Oh no! I mean, like they tried to get a contract signed with him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Yep. My thing is that like I said, I was originally gonna go Raiders because the Raiders' run game is fucking impressive, and if you try to say it isn't, you're an idiot. You know for a fact. I said it all the way through the whole scouting process, throughout the draft. I love Justin Herbert. I love exactly what Justin Herbert wants to do. I love what he's doing, and I'm gonna back my dude with Justin Herbert. That's my thing there. And just to really quickly answer chat, yes, Josh, I did see that about J.J. Watt wanting to win a championship and not wanting to rebuild, calling out the Texans and trade. Yes, that is my opinion. Is that Justin? There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk about J.J. Watt getting traded, or anyone on that team getting traded. And the trade deadline came and went, and no one got traded. I think that some of those guys are going to be looking to be pretty pissed, in my opinion. Dolphins at Arizona.
Don't do it.
Fins.
Cardinals, dude. Come on.
Fins.
Come on.
One of the last games I think I did was a Cardinals game, if I remember correctly. One of the last games I did was a Cardinals game, and I can't stand it because they either look extremely good or it looks like a coach that's trying to do more than he should. And that's all I saw throughout the last game of them that I saw. And like I said, I think it was one of the last games I did a play-by-play for. The Fins, like we said earlier, Fins' defense looks fucking great against the Rams. Special teams looks good. The offense is going to take a little while, I think, now that you're making that big switch. Oh.
What?
So breaking news. Scratchy has now just submitted his picks. But the interesting thing here is that his lock of the week is my lock of the week. Therefore, no lock of the week for that one. So we're just gonna have to tell him that. So Rob is picking the Packers to beat San Fran. Rob is picking the Bills to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Ravens.
He went with the Lions, though. That's funny.
He went with Jags.
Ooh.
Chiefs. Redskins. And we'll just go with what we have right here, right now.
Yeah.
Why do I have... Oh, whoops. He wrote it in a fucking weird order, bro. He didn't write it in the order that I sent it. I'm just throwing that out there right now. He went Falcons. All right. Titans, Bears. Titans. Washington. That was his lock of the week, so I'll just make him change that here later. Cards. He's going Dolphins as well. All right. So there we go. Now that we have Rob's picks, now we can fully just get right to this.
But anyway, bottom line is Tua got the best of Kyler last time they met. And I just don't think it's going to happen again. Let's just talk about that real quick.
Interesting.
They're I don't want to say I don't want to say babying, but they're going to baby Tua.
100%.
And that's what it is. And I think that with Budda Baker just running around like a crazy madman, he's going to confuse Tua. Tua is going to throw his first interception of his career. I mean, he'll get through it. I mean, you gotta do it to happen. But it's going to depend on if the Dolphins' good defense shows up or the bad defense. Are they going to be able to contain Kyler? I don't think so. The Cardinals are coming off a bye week. I just like the Cardinals too much with that fast-paced offense for the Dolphins to stick up with it.
I think the interesting thing is that, like, and it's kind of the same thing that happened in Baltimore, right? You go from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson. Huge change. The only difference is, though, is that we were running the new offense that we're running right now with Lamar every now and then, randomly interspersed. We haven't seen that with the Dolphins randomly interspersing Tua up until this point. So it's one of those things where, like, the Tua offense and the Ryan Fitzpatrick offense, I feel like that they might be two separate things or the same thing. And either way, it's going to be terrible for the team. You know?
Yeah.
But I'm still picking Fins just because I think overall they're more like, I'm trying to think of the right way to word this. Like I said, the Cardinals see I feel like the Cardinals' offense is always trying to do too much. The Dolphins are like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. There, the Cardinals' offense is like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this on top of it, just for fun, and it never works. You know. So, well, like there was one fucking play, from their game. They had two tight ends,
and Rob just locked it.
Oh. Rob just locked Dolphins.
The Cardinals.
This is actually exciting. So last thing real quick. The Cardinals ran a one formation. I remember very specifically. They had a tight end on the line of scrimmage. They had a tight end literally directly behind him. And then they had DeAndre Hopkins directly behind him. And it was a quick screen. Ball throw. And there was an outside backer that went out on that. The outside backer literally just ripped, and went around and made the tackle in the backfield for like a negative 7-yard play.
Nice.
And so, why not run a fucking regular screen? You know, why do you have to do this, snowman formation out wide?
Snowman, I love it. I do remember which play you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just bad. So moving on now to the last of the 4:00 games, we have the Steelers at Dallas. I mean, we don't need to fucking talk about this. It's Pittsburgh.
Why not?
Okay, Jeff, who are you picking?
I'm last. You gotta go after me.
I'm picking the Steelers. Rob's picking the Steelers.
What?
Do it. I fucking dare you. Do it.
Dude, Dallas is looking good. They got a new guy coming in. Come on, dude. Come on.
Yeah, tell me the two new guys, like, who it's going to be. It's going to be who or who?
Cooper Rush.
Okay.
Why not? You don't like that? No?
No.
You're right. We're going to lock it down with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
I was hoping you didn't pick that, so there we go. Lock it in. We don't have to talk about this game. I don't care if the Steelers only show up for a quarter. They're going to blow the Cowboys out. James Conner's going to run wild.
I will say this.
Juju, I think Juju's going to get back on schedule in this game.
Juju.
He's got to.
He started to get some catches against Baltimore. So the only thing I will say is this. This is literally the only thing I'll say with this is I do hope that it is Cooper Kupp or Cooper Rush starting. Because I remember watching him in a preseason game, I think it was 2 years ago, in a few preseason games, and I actually liked what I saw from him. So I'm hoping that it's him and not Garrett Gilbert, because I think that he's just, no. He couldn't make it in the AF, he couldn't make it in the XFL, the kid ain't going to make it. Let's just put that fucking side, and let's have Cooper Rush do his thing. You know, they missed out for trading for Tomu, so I mean, you might as well do something else. Sunday Night Football.
Oh, this is a good game for you Sunday night.
This is actually a really good one to come back to after taking my break. Let's put it like that. New Orleans Saints at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Scratchy is going to go with the Buccaneers.
I wish I knew if the Saints
We're marching in.
were going to get Michael Thomas back.
Oh, okay.
I want to know. They should be getting Emmanuel Sanders back. I believe he's back off COVID, and I'm going to hope that Michael Thomas plays and go with the Saints going 2-0 against the Buccaneers.
4 hours ago, NBC Sport. Emmanuel Sanders, Michael Thomas practicing, but Alvin Kamara is not.
Why is Alvin Kamara not? What the fudge is that? Hey, he's on my fantasy team. Check that back. What's going on? That's Michael Thomas. What's going on?
He has a bone bruise in his foot.
Who cares? He'll be in. Anyway, Michael Thomas comes in.
All right.
Offense gets back to what they were doing. Tom Brady keeps, and I'm going to say Tom Brady keeps the lead in touchdown thrown in NFL history. He will throw more than touchdowns than Drew Brees this game, but the Saints will win. It's kind of like back in the day, when Harry's down big at a Quidditch match and he had to get that snitch just to end the game because it was that bad, It's kind of the same thing.
My thing
that actually happened in the Quidditch World Cup. I think it only happened in the book, though, guys. I don't think it happened where Victor Crumb got the snitch. Just throwing that out there, a little Harry Potter knowledge on you. I don't know if it actually happened in the movie, but keep going on. What do you got? Why are you picking the Bucs? Yeah.
So I think that the first time, because they played week 1, right?
They did.
Yeah. So week 1, I feel like it was the already fully established, this is who the New Orleans Saints are, versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where we've now picked off just a bunch of random people to make our team better, and now let's see what happens. It's now week 9. This is a well-oiled machine in Tampa now. I think that the Saints aren't going to be ready for this.
But it's not a well-oiled machine, and you want me to tell you why it's not a well-oiled machine?
Why?
Because you have a gentleman named Antonio Brown coming into that locker room.
See, so this is my thing, is that I agree with you there, but on the field, I'm talking specifically on the field. I think that this is going to be fine because for a fact Tom's going to throw him the ball.
I'm not saying it's not fine that way. I'm just saying that it's going to take some getting used to.
Oh, of course.
The crazy thing is who does Marshawn Lattimore line up against? Does he stay on his side of the field? Does he go with Mike Evans, a proven guy? Godwin, I don't think he's back this week. But who does he go with? You know what I mean?
Who?
That's my question. That's what I want to know.
Hold on a second. Let me take a look here real quick. If it's me, what am I doing? Lattimore has to play his side of the field. Okay. You look at who they have. You physically can't afford to do it otherwise. The
only thing I am going to say is I would not have him play his side of the field if Antonio Brown and Mike Evans line up on the same side of the field. You have to move him to that side of the field.
Okay, fair enough. Either
if they're on different sides of the field, he locks down his side of the field, whoever he's on, and I would probably zone and help over on the other side of the field.
Well, that was what I was about to. That's what I was just about to say. Is that I would do it one of two ways. Either I would do his side of the field, or if they do line up, like we just said, Antonio Brown and Mike Evans. Honestly, leave the DB over there, and you have the safeties adjust. Because, you look at this safety core of Malcolm Jenkins and Gardner Johnson. That's a good safety combination. And Gardner is the I would argue Gardner is the better coverage guy. where Malcolm Jenkins is the better meet you in the hole.
Yeah, when he's not getting punched in the face, I probably.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So I mean, my thing would be this: is that I would have the safeties literally play middle of field, like literal middle of field, and see where it goes. And if you see those two go over to one side, you put Gardner over there, and Malcolm plays the other side. At that point, because I mean, it's like because we say about playing on okay, so then we do this.
You said
okay,
Malcolm or Marshawn? Lattimore talking about?
I'm so confused with what I just said now.
Well, you just said Malcolm plays. You said Gardner plays
Oh,
one side and
yeah,
Malcolm
so
plays
yeah,
the other?
Malcolm plays the other side over top of over top of Lattimore, but it's just he's just doing his
So
thing.
you want? See, I don't.
See,
and that's what I was actually going to say is I want to drop Malcolm down and put him on Gronk.
so that's basically what I'm getting at is that no matter what, you just have Gardner over top of the other one, and Jenkins is going to do whatever he has to with the other one. Because this is my thing. So like, okay, so if you have who would you have Lattimore cover, for instance?
Like I said, whoever's on his side of the field. If it's,
okay, so then it becomes this: Ken Crawley,
I think
Janoris Jenkins, Patrick Robinson, J.T. Gray, Justin Hardy, DJ Swearinger, and P.J. Williams. Those are the DBs and corners listed on their roster. Other than Jenkins, rarely, none of those guys are going to be able to stop any of the other Bucs receivers. You know, I feel like you have to play the safety over the top of it, and just
it'd be tough. It'd be tough, but. Yeah.
And then this is the interesting one. This is the interesting one, in my opinion. The Monday night game, we have the Patriots and the Jets.
Come on, this isn't interesting.
This
is a garbage game.
That's what I'm saying. Is that like
the Patriots?
We've seen it the last few weeks. Patriots look like trash. The Jets we already know look like trash. So this is interesting to me because
who is the worst trash?
Well, I agree there. But my thing is this: I'm picking the Patriots as well. If the Jets win, though, if somehow the shit hits the fan and the Jets win, can we is this officially where the Patriots, like Patriot Nation, it's the fucking emergency button slamming at this point?
100%. I mean, it should already be slammed. I mean, they've lost 4 in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
It should already be slammed, in my opinion. They got to make a decision if you want Cam Newton doing this, or you figure out what you have in Stidham. I mean, I don't know why you aren't running Stidham. You got to figure out what you have in him. See if you're gonna. The thing is, I mean, the Patriots are. I mean, they didn't have Trey Gilmore, so that's the number one pick's out.
Another weird one that we thought was going to happen was Gilmore getting traded, and it didn't.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is out unless they can trade him, Gilmore in the offseason for a number one. I don't see it happening, but I mean, they got to get some draft capital to be able to move up. I mean, unless you're going to blow the rest of the season and here's where it starts, you're losing to the Jets. I mean, that's going to give you a solid, game up on them now, moving that way. So it's, I don't see him losing. I mean, I keep saying it. Bill Belichick doesn't lose games in a row. Doesn't lose 3 games in a row. Doesn't lose 4 games in a row. But is he going to lose? You can't lose 5 games in a row.
You can't lose 5 games and to the Jets. Like, that's the thing. Is like,
yeah, come on. I mean, I know what you're saying. I mean, you are going with this. You're not trying to get fancy here and picking the Jets or anything. No. Crazy talk.
Yeah, no,
but,
I'm. Like it's just I'm
gonna keep saying
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. Like we I don't know.
It'll be an interesting game. I mean, it's they should have Gilmore back this week. I mean, they're still going to be without Edelman.
Well, that's the thing is I don't give a fuck if they don't have Gilmore there. My thing is how are they going to move the ball, because that's the big issue right now for me.
I want to see Damian Harris pound the ball, dude. He looked good last week. Give him the rock.
That's the thing is and of course I'll throw it to Scratchy because I know Scratchy would have said this. They need to get back to old school Patriot football, which is running the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Damian Harris 102 yards last week against the Bills.
I mean,
That's
and
great.
honestly, that's you know what? That's 100% what they need to do right now.
Uh-huh.
You
And
fucking.
even, I mean, then you can play action off that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Myers was doing a good job finding the zones behind the Bills
Mm-hmm.
linebackers, and Cam could hit some of those. I mean,
So this is my thing.
no, I mean,
I would bench Cam right now, put Stidham in,
I,
and
and that's, yeah.
this is it. This is the beginning. This is where like actually, you know what? Wait, it's week 9, right? This is week 9.
Yeah.
I would do it after
Cam
this
got
week.
his 8 games, dude.
I would do it after
Cam
this
got
week.
his.
No,
What is this, his 8th game?
I do it. That's the thing is he was injured or he was on the COVID list, so he missed 2
Oh, he
games.
was. You're right. Yeah.
So this is my thing though. This is the last game, in my opinion. If you can't beat the Jets, we're figuring this shit out.
But the thing is, dude, you gotta make a point. That's like, I mean, I was talking to some of my Cowboys, friends, and they're like, oh, we gotta get this guy, we gotta trade for this guy, I'd trade Zeke, blah blah blah. Okay, you're trying to make these moves to win your division. Yes, I understand you win your division. Yes, I understand anything happens in the playoffs. I understand all that. You're not going to win a game with Andy Dalton in the playoffs. You're not going to win a game with Cooper Rush in the playoffs. Why? Same thing goes here. The Patriots defense is still good. It is not what it was last year.
No.
They are still good. They are not going to win a playoff game in the AFC.
No.
Why even run Cam Newton? You got a 30-year-old quarterback. You know what you're getting out of Cam. Give Stidham a full shot. Give him an actual shot. Give him the shot that A.J. McCarron deserved and never got. Give
exactly.
him a shot.
100 fucking percent.
Figure out what you can do in the future.
And this is my big issue with the NFL across the board. Is exactly what you just said. We see these guys who come up through the college ranks and they fucking ball out like AJ McCarron. AJ McCarron, I feel like is going to be one of those ones that you and me are always going to have like the highest of fucking respect for. We love the way he fucking played, and we're always going to think he got fucked over. Basically,
he never got a real shot. No.
And that's the thing, is like that's the biggest issue. You see him; he was backing up Dalton. Then he got to play when Dalton got hurt. He got to play. I think it was one regular season game and then a playoff game. And then that was it. And then he left, and like he got out of there because he had a good performance in both of those things. But nobody gave him a shot, and now I don't even know where the fuck he is, to be honest with you.
Brandon Beane says it the best, and that's for people you don't know.
Oh, Moneyball.
That is the Bills GM. Bills GM, okay?
No, that's Billy Beane. You got to give me that, though. At least I knew that. Like,
that's funny,
come on. Like,
you have to do what you need to win now and in the future, okay? To win now and in the future. Jarrett Stidham is that guy right now. Cam Newton is not going to win for you in the future. And I'm willing to bet that Jarrett Stidham is going to win as many games as Cam would have won this year anyway. Play him, figure out what you got, move forward.
Mm-hmm.
You're not you could be a playoff team. There's 7 teams now. You could sneak into the playoffs. It's possible. You're not going to go to the Super Bowl. You are not a contender. Figure out what you have and move forward.
Yeah. So I mean, right here, I'm looking at this right now. So in the one playoff game that AJ McCarron had, he's on the Texans right now.
We're going back to AJ.
Yeah, in the one postseason game he went 23 for 41, 212 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. That's not terrible. Honestly, that's not terrible. 56% isn't great, but for your first experience going and you're just kind of thrown in at the end of a season, in 2015, that season, which is when he got thrown in, he started 3 games. He had a 66% completion percentage, almost 1,000 yards passing in 3 games. He went 6-2, touchdown, interception. This is the thing that it blows my fucking mind. Like, I don't want no 30-year-old bullshit fucking quarterback that's broken. Give me a kid like this and let's see what the fucking happen. They have Stidham.
I agree.
Stidham was going to be the guy until they went and got Cam. Cam worked for a few weeks and then he got fucking on COVID and then he came back and now we're seeing, hey look, the shoulder isn't good. He can't throw the ball really well anymore.
Yep. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you, and I want to see it.
Go trade for Tom.
Not that I don't love the Patriots dynasty. Just looking.
I love
awesome.
it. I love it right now.
But I want to see it. For the good of the game, for the fact that they can beat the Jersey Jets.
For the love of football, Jeff, as the XFL would say.
For the love of freaking football.
But yeah, there we go, guys.
Throw in Putnam just because I feel like it.
Throw in who?
Goddamn Putnam. Sorry.
Who?
What? No.
Who?
Oh my goodness!
There's a fucking owl in here. Who?
You don't know what that's from?
No, I don't know what that's from.
Oh, it's from the Browns draft day.
Oh right, throw in Putnam too. At the end of it, I forgot about that.
What his first
You
name
pancake-eating son of a bitch.
You pancake-y.
All right, so everybody, thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Let us know what your guys' picks are in the comments down below. Let us know. Booba Black Ops with a resub for 16 months. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let me know. Let us know what your guys' picks are. Let us know what you guys agree with, disagree with, anything. Just let us know. Comments.
Unless it's about Joe Burrows, then I don't give a crap.
Yeah, we don't care. We already made our minds up on that. Like I said, thank you all for coming out. Jeff, anything last to say?
Yeah, if you don't chew Big Red.
Fuck you.
Nah, let's get some good football in. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling. Bring it back to normalcy. Keep it rolling.
Boom.
Let's
so depending on where you are when you watch this morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye.